You may be seated. A word about our presentation. A few weeks ago, our Vacation Bible School focused on the theme of bravery, and we looked at 4 biblical persons to understand that. Daniel, Esther, David, and who am I missing? Daniel, Esther, David, and Deborah, of course. And as part of that learning through VBS, our older kids did a skit to help emphasize the learnings. And so because bravery is one of those themes important for us to think about as Christians, as a nation, today our sermon is their presentation.
We had a lot of fun in VBS this year. We learned about Queen Esther, Daniel, Deborah, and David.
Good afternoon. I'm Abby with Abington Times at Abington Episcopal Church. I'm here to interview several well-known biblical figures. Please introduce yourself.
My name's David. Goliath looked huge, but God is bigger. I learned that when I trust God, I can face any giant in my life.
My name is Queen Esther. I learned that God gives us the courage to do what's right.
My name is Daniel. Even when I was thrown into the lion's den, I kept trusting God, and He protected me because I remained faithful.
My name is Deborah. I listened to God and helped lead His people. I learned that God can use anyone to be a leader.
Thank you. And what is your message you have for the people here today?
God helps us stand strong in faith.
Okay. First, I have a few questions for each of our guests. I will begin with Queen Esther. Queen Esther, your first question is, why did you want to marry the king?
Well, I didn't have a choice, but because I was so beautiful and stuff.
Okay. My second question is, how did you learn about Haman's wicked plan to annihilate your people, the Jews?
Well, my uncle had a conflict with Haman, and one thing led to another, and I found out.
Okay, and my last question for you is, how did you feel about being recognized every year in the Festival of Purim?
It feels good knowing that God's way got celebrated.
Okay, thank you, Queen Esther. Now for Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Why are you thrown in the lion's den?
So people got jealous because I was close to the king, so they convinced the king to make a law that for 30 days we must pray to the king and no one else, and the king prayed to God.
Okay. My second question for you is, why were you not afraid when you were surrounded by the lions?
Because I knew God was with me. I trusted that God was with me.
Okay, and my last question for you is, how long did you stay in the lion's den? How did you, get out?
I stayed for one night, and how I got out, the king rushed to the den and threw the door open.
Okay, our next honored guest is Deborah. Hello, Deborah. My first question for you is, what led you to become a judge?
The people needed someone to handle disputes and to hear God's message.
Okay, my second question for you is, why did you decide to lead the army against your enemy?
Well, that's what God wanted me to, so I did.
Okay, and my last question for you today is, how did you show your bravery?
I went into battle willingly knowing that God was on my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Deborah. And now, finally, a fellow that we're all familiar with, young David. Hello. First question for you, David. What led you to become the one to face off Goliath?
Well, so the Israelites were going against Goliath and his army, and Goliath challenged them for 3 days, saying, "Spend out your best warriors, and if we lose, we'll retreat and go surrender." That's what.
Okay. My second question for you is, how big was Goliath?
He was maybe 9'3", but I knew that God was bigger.
Okay, and my third question for you is, what weapons did you have to defeat Goliath?
I had God and a slingshot.
Okay, thank you all for coming today and letting us know what we can rely on God on difficult times.